Good morning, you guys. Happy Friday. This week I've had some struggles with getting up. I'm gonna be totally honest. I have no makeup on. I'm gonna put these on and hopefully that makes me look a little better. Um, but here we are. I after our call yesterday, I started to work on a bunch of content for moving forward. And I haven't 100% decided, but I might not record starting our next 30-day run. Again, it's a lot of extra work for me and summer and all of the things. And so I think it might just be one of those things that when people plug in, that will just be the luxury that they will have is just having that direct contact.
Shut the fuck up.
If if we can if I have the graphics, I might just share the graphic. But I maybe just won't share the call. So anyways, I haven't squared it away. It's a lot of work and I gotta try to get it all done this weekend before we start next Monday. So I was working on that yesterday, but with kids home, it is challenging to get it all done. So anyways, with that, we're gonna just dive into our interactions right away this morning. Interactions are really intended, you guys, just to build relationships with your community, get the algorithm also working for you. I heard this week and somebody said in one of my coaching groups or social media groups, they said the more love you give, the more love you'll get. So that's another reason why we do this, because you have to be interacting with other people if you want them to interact back with you or if you want them to reach out to you, all of the things. Good morning, Angel.
Good morning.
So it's just really important to do these interactions. It also helps improve your algorithm. So therefore, here comes Jess. Jess is the Zoom user. Um, so that's why interactions are so important. So I just always like to explain to everybody why we do what we do. So we're going to go ahead and get our interactions going. And just remember to, bless you, bless you again. Um, if you've already done your interactions, sometimes I'll hear some say, I've already done my interactions. Just remember, unless you've literally commented on every single person's thing in your feed, you can never really do enough interactions like in our business. So just continue doing those interactions because that is just going to push your content out even further. And it's just going to increase your visibility. And it's also going to just help that many more people see your stuff, especially when it's public, because it pushes it out to everybody and everything, not just your friends list. So that's why it's so important. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get started on our interactions, and then we'll move into our post, and then we'll do just a little training time, and then we'll get on with our Friday. So thanks for being here, guys.
So just give me a minute. I just gotta go potty.
Ladies, I just got so excited. It's so small and so silly, but I remember when I was having the video issue with my phone,
Yeah.
I had to switch back to an old phone that I had, which is
Yeah.
absolutely fine. But you know how you get like the muscle memory of like where your emojis are and like how like you hit the button really quick?
Yeah.
Well, my old phone wasn't set up that way. Like where I would hit one button and then right underneath it would be the emojis from my last phone.
Right.
So I always hit the settings thing, and I just figured out how to find my emojis, and I moved them to that same spot, and I'm so excited. Small victory.
It's the little things in life, Dan.
So perfect.
I know you were having issues with your phone before.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you for
great.
sharing that. Thank you for letting me share that.
Yes, of course. Hey, we're about all the wins. Angel, I have to tell you too, I don't always really see you on the Zooms per se because you're usually your camera's off and stuff, but your face looks so skinny today. Like your face looks so thin. You look good.
Thanks. Actually, when we were down at the campground by my cousin, she said the same thing. She's like, "That ain't your face is just glowing." And
Yeah.
she goes, "I might want some of that, the new skincare." So I'm gonna reach out to her probably after the weekend because they're camping and stuff yet, just to,
Yeah,
you
like
know,
your skin looks good, but like your face looks so thin.
thanks.
very
Thanks.
slim.
It's
Yeah, you look good.
I'm ordering more of the skincare line because I absolutely love it.
Mhm.
Absolutely love it. Now, she also asked me, and I like she's got some like dark spots on her face. She goes, "Do you think it would help with that?" And I go,
I'm not really sure. A lot of
"Yeah,
that is
that's
usually
what I
skin
said
damage.
too."
But Jason
Yeah,
did say that this is nutrition for the skin to just like really work through the skin from, the inside out per se, or
inside
the
out. Yep,
outside
yep.
in,
And
or
then I
whatnot.
always say that. I mean, when I post that, I always definitely put on there, um, this product works the from the outside in,
Outside
not
in.
the inside.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
mean, there's a chance that it could lighten them, but usually
Lighten
it's
it.
skin
Yeah.
damage, and so usually once you kind of have that skin damage, it's just kind of
Hmm.
there. But
Right, right.
I mean, it's always a possibility that it'll lighten up.
Lighten up.
Yeah,
Yeah. I really think I'm just gonna give her a chance to step back because she can't do the 3 steps itself because of some of her health issues.
sure.
But she wants to
But
maybe
if she could
try
do skincare, that's
the
great.
skincare. Right. Yes, yes. And she might want to try the HDS. She's pondering that.
Mm.
One thing is her swallowing capsules.
What
Some
is
people
with that
just
with people? I'm
I
like,
don't know.
come on,
I
grow
don't
up and swallow a capsule for God's sakes.
and and I don't know with the HDS if you can take those apart and maybe put it in some food. I've never heard anybody,
I mean,
and
I'm sure you can do it just like with anything, but
right.
I
But
guarantee
I
it's
don't
gonna taste
I mean,
good.
a lot of people say like the actual capsules taste like poo, but I don't know how the HDS would. And I just suggested,
Well, it's
put it in some
vitamins. It's
yogurt.
definitely gonna taste like shit.
Yeah.
Just being honest.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I'm
You can
like,
put it
"Oh,
in all the applesauce you want, and it's still gonna taste like garbage. That's why they are in a gel capsule. If we could take it like a pixie stick, that's how they would come.
exactly." If it was all like the chill or something like that, I could do it.
Right.
I was gonna tell you, one of my old customers finally ordered again. It
That's
was like,
awesome.
yes, yes, yes.
It's
She
always
I
great when people come back.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I might want to switch her over. I'm giving her just a little bit. I know she's had a lot of issues and she was struggling. She's like, God, just like a couple weeks, well, the one she was sick. And I go, you probably should start thriving again. She goes, Angel, I really have been pondering, very, 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 very pondering. And I kind of Tiffany had something in their thing about how she was reaching out to people,
Yep.
so I kind of revised it and put my own little thing on there. And she goes, I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna do it. So she did the couples pack, and I'm like,
That's
there you
that's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
Super
yeah. And
awesome.
she is watching. She's watching you because she said
Who
she
is
goes,
it?
Brianna.
Really? The one that has all the kids?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh. I feel like she had been watching. I
yes.
was like, I wonder when she's gonna start thriving again. I
Mhm.
see,
Yeah,
I totally also, I
yep,
mean, not saying I'm the person, but I've been putting that into the universe because I was just like, she needs thrive.
yep, yep, yep,
Oh my gosh,
yep,
that is
yep, yep,
awesome.
yeah, yeah. So she goes, I'm gonna order the couple pack. Well, she wanted to know about the 8-week experience. And I go, well, it's kind of the couple pack now. It's not called that anymore. And
Yeah.
she goes, if I buy it, I'll use it. She goes, after 2 months, she goes, I just need somebody to keep pushing me. And I go, you know what? I'm here. I see you every day. I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna, I have to do it discreetly because Mama Bear in the kitchen is like,
Oh my gosh, it's so crazy.
I'm like, oh,
Especially after you've run that place for how many freaking years
I
and
know,
worked there for
I
an
know,
eternity. it's so crazy to me that they are a bunch of Nazis to you about Thrive.
Yes, yes, yes.
But that's how it was for Rock under his last chief. Like the rapist, before he got fired. He was anal. He wouldn't even let Rock park our cars in the parking lot. He, like, in the first row of the police department,
Oh, yep,
he asked him to park his car at the very end of the lot and facing a certain direction
Oh my God.
because he didn't want, because Rock has our Lavelle business,
Mhm.
that was when our car was lettered. And because we're advertising our Thrive business.
It doesn't make any sense to me because it's just vitamins.
It
Yep,
was
right.
but he was just being a dink. And
Yeah.
so, like, he didn't want that affiliated with the police department.
the
And
police
it was
department.
just, he was puffing his chest and being authoritative and just trying to like run the show. And so basically, yeah, it was just like absolutely crazy that like he was just
That way, yeah.
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 Also, Heather, with that new promo that they have out, or for what do I want to say? Are you gonna do any meetings or anything like that? Have any
new promo. I guess I don't know. what you're-
it's not promo. Let me look.
I'm lost. I'm not sure.
No, it's not a promo. Lavelle just mentioned last night or yesterday about having get-togethers and stuff like that.
Oh, where did I miss that?
The host a meeting, Thriving and Mingle events.
Oh,
It was out. I got an email last night.
honestly, I must
Last
have
night
just
it came out.
completely missed it, Angel. So I
Yeah.
don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if anybody wants to do any events, I'm always down for it. I'm happy to help. I'm happy to, do any of that. But yeah, I haven't seen that. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, it came in an email yesterday afternoon
Oh, okay.
to set your own Thrive and Mingle, and then they're giving you, if you do 3 of them with 5 or more people, they're offering like I don't even know. I don't have my glasses on to see it. So my phone's too small. Everybody laughs at me because my text messages are
Your
so
words
big.
are
and
huge
all the-
on your phone, Angel. I don't know how you can't see it. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Oh. Oh my God. Yeah, it came out like 5 o'clock last night.
Okay. I'll
I
have
was
to look
looking.
into it and we'll figure out something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're gonna move into our Jess said they offer product, she believes, for doing that. That would make sense. They've talked about doing that in the past, that if you're hosting a lot of events, that they will give out free product for you to help your people get started.
So if you host 3 events, you get $75 in credits and 2 sample mailouts and 1 Lavelle gear item.
Sounds like a good get together.
Yeah, guys, sounds like you need to plan a get together. Dan's like,
Exactly.
oh shit, she called me out. I'm gonna turn off my camera. Rude.
So I have to admit that I can't host. I just can't put my apartment's under construction.
Well, listen, no one said you had to have it at your house.
You just
Yeah,
go
I
to a
know.
bar, Dan. That's all that's to it.
Nuts free or
Somebody has
nuts
a
free.
house a
Nuts
lot of
free. Nuts deep is free.
Nuts free is deep.
Nuts free is deep. Oh my
Oh my gosh. Anyways, let's get back on.
Oh my God.
Okay, stay focused before this conversation goes south really fast. Okay, today you guys, we in the past have just kind of like did follow-up Friday. So if you have follow-ups to do, obviously, don't forget to do those. Also tomorrow is auto ship. So if you have any auto shippers that are gonna go, make sure you touch base with them, just check in with them, ask if there's anything that you can help them with. It's always good to be good customer service to our customers. And also if you can help them to like make their experience any better. So those are the couple of things that, you'll want to do, later today or at some point, just those IPAs. And then we used to just do Fridays as follow-up Friday on the Zoom, but you guys had talked about that you would like it better if like I still gave a guided post on Fridays. So we are gonna just do something super light and fun today. And again, it's just to every post in the morning that we do isn't always just only geared for Thrive. It's really to just encourage your people on your social media to become quote unquote. I have a book like that says how to make your social media super fans. So that's why I always think of it like this. But to make your social media followers super fans of you, and how you do that is allowing them to come into your community and allowing them to interact and engage on your statuses. And people love to put their input, but if we only post about Thrive, and if we only post about promos, and we only post about like just health things that maybe like they might not be interested in, or at least not yet, they never have an opportunity to ever interact with us or engage with us. And we really, really want to be able to do that, because when they engage on our statuses, there again, that's another way that we can interact with them and build that relationship. And that is how we will continue to grow our businesses, by building those relationships. So today we are going to we're going to do Friday favorites. I don't have a graphic, guys, because I've been working on content. So I clicked off. I don't even know if you can still see me right now, because I clicked to a different screen right now. But we're going to share our favorite things. What is a book, a podcast, a product, anything that's positively impacted your life. And then you're going to do the call to action will be, let me know in the comments what is your favorite, like whatever it is. If it's your favorite podcast, if it's your favorite book, you can do this for anything. And what this is also going to do is this is going to let your community in about you. The more you like share about yourself and really let your community get to know you better, the more they know, like, and trust you, and then that's how they can relate. And they love to give their opinions too. Something really small, you guys, that I just even want to share with you, is like, to me, it just seemed like, well, whatever, like, what's it matter? Like, whatever. So I don't know. I'm sure a lot of you probably seen my post, because it got way more love on it than I would have ever thought. Actually, 2 posts in the last 2 days. One, me sharing about my glasses and letting people know the story of my like blind eye, and also Castle. And I couldn't believe how many people had the same situation as me and how much interaction is on there. And truthfully, I've been if you're close to me, you know that the last 2 days at my household have been just insane. My kids are like off the chain. I don't know what the hell's going on with them, but I wanted to strangle them yesterday. And I felt like I should maybe check myself into Norwood. But it was just a really hard day yesterday. Kingston had already broken Castle's glasses basically in, well, not completely broken them, but I mean, they were like hanging off her face like this. It was just, they were like so jacked up. And we just got those glasses the day before. I was livid. Whatever. I don't need to get into all of it. And I lost my cool. And so it's just been all around a really hard week. And so but I do need to go back and interact back with all those people, because the other thing is, when a lot of people are commenting on your statuses, you always want to make sure that you comment back to them, because again, that's how that relationship's going to grow. But also it tells the algorithm like, wow, she's being so social, so we're going to continue to push her stuff out, because people must really love this post because of all of the interactions on it. So that's why it's so important to post things about your life or about things that people can interact with, because then they have an opportunity to come back and share their thoughts or share their story. And that's exactly what happened. So many people shared their story. Furthermore, I also posted yesterday about being a mom and having a really hard day, and that I lost my cool, and like, mama, I see you. Like, it's hard. And I couldn't believe, truly, I've never felt so seen in my life after how many moms commented on that status and was like, me too, me too, me too, me too. I was blown away. I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, holy shit. But you know what else, you guys? That also gives me an idea of how many moms are kind of having a hard time right now. So all of those moms, I don't want to look at them as a number. Don't take me the wrong way, you guys, because we know what we have. We know the products that we have. We know they work. But maybe those might be moms that are going to go on a list for me that I might want to engage with more, just to build that community and also just be a supportive mom. Like, I give people advice and tips and tricks in my messenger every single day, all the time, because I share so much that people reach out to me and they ask me my opinion, or they ask me for advice, or they ask for suggestions. But it's these types of posts that do that for people, because when you are sharing a little bit more about yourself, or you're sharing, this is my favorite podcast, or this is my favorite whatever, people are like, wow, she's so knowledgeable. And like, and this isn't to toot my own horn, but it's just because you put yourself out there that then people will reach back out to you and ask other things. So like yesterday I had a new mama reach out to me, and she just was like, she was transparent, said like, I have this new baby and it took her a long time in life to get pregnant. And so now she has this new baby. And so she reached out to me and she's like, I have heard you talk a lot about having a cleaning lady or a cleaning service. I really feel like with working, and then I only get to see my daughter a couple hours at night before she goes to bed. And then on the weekends, I feel like I'm going to have to clean all weekend. And now I'm taking away time from spending time with her because I am just cleaning all weekend. And so, but the point of this is like, so I gave her all the information and my lady is full, but I reached out to some other people that I know that have a service, and I tried to find out if they have openings. And so that's building that relationship and that community within that lady, so that I'm not asking anything of her. I'm not trying to sell her Thrive. I am just literally being a friend and building a community. And so that when she's ready, or if she's feeling exhausted with motherhood, she is going to come back to me and she's going to be like, okay, Heather. And when I ran a deal last month, actually in one of our posts, it wasn't a deal. Well, I mean, I did discount it, but I talked about our collagen products, and she did buy collagen from me. So she hasn't bought the 3 steps, but she bought collagen. That post opened her up to buying the collagen. And now she's reaching out, asking other questions about other things in motherhood and life. And so we're building this relationship. And there's a possibility that one of my posts will trigger her down the road. And she'll be like, you know what? I think I need to thrive. Or she might ask me questions about it. And that's how this business works, you guys, like with the way that we do it and not doing cold messages. This is how you organically build relationships online and support your community, bring value to them, and just constantly show up for your people. This is how you are going to build those relationships, and then they're just going to trust you, and then they're going to want to thrive with you. So the more value you put out, the faster they'll come around to you. So it all goes hand in hand. I don't want you to think you got to hustle and, put out 17 posts a day. That's not what I'm saying. But when you're consistent every single day and you're putting up this morning post right away and you're letting people get to know who you are, or you're giving value, you're giving tips, you're giving tricks, you're sharing what your favorite podcast is, your favorite book, whatever, you're also letting people know who you are. And a lot of people aren't like this. A lot of people aren't self developing. A lot of people are trying to still literally figure out their life and how to get all of this stuff in. So that is why it's so important to continue to bring value all the time and not just post Thrive posts, because then when they see the Thrive post after all the value you've given, now when you do that one sales post, then they're like, okay, I'm ready. And it's because you didn't slam it down their throat and you've been giving them so many free resources and so much value and inspiration, or whatever it is, that when they see your Thrive post or they see something you post in your story with an offer, and they're like, okay, like, she's cool. She's been like, I've learned so much from her. She doesn't really want anything from me. She's just been giving me all of this value, all of this advice. And so I'm ready. So that is the importance of it. Sorry, just, when things come to my mind, you guys, I just have to like kind of just go off, and because there's so many people in our team that are watching these replays or that are brand new to our business. And so I know some of you already know a lot of this stuff, but we just really want to reiterate why we do things. Some people just need to know the why, and why does it work and how does it work. And so when you understand the why, it's just so much easier to just do it because it makes sense to you. So, because right, you don't want to do something that you feel like, well, what's the point? Like, how is this helping us? Um, so I am gonna quick go on and post up my thing, and then we will get into our quick little training session today. If I'm being, oh, I'm like, where are my podcasts? If I'm being completely transparent, as you guys know, I never lie. I just always tell the truth, um, because I can't lie. Um, I I don't even know where the week has went, and I'm like coming to today, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's Friday, and I like literally didn't. I completely forgot about our training, and so I don't.
Grand Canyon
Oh,
University is a
I don't have any.
Christ-centered university with a
Come
compassionate
There
Christian
we go. Um,
Unacceptable, Heather. Unacceptable.
I know.
You're
I
not prepared.
I
What
have
are we gonna do?
notebooks and notebooks
You're
full
just
of like
you're
stuff.
just gonna
So
shoot
I
from
mean,
the hip.
what?
I said you're just gonna have to shoot from the hip.
Well, that's what I'm gonna do. And I
I don't
got a
know if
lot of breath in these lungs, so it shouldn't be a problem.
I'm almost out of it. I don't know if you're any good at it or not, but I think you might be able to squirrel off into something that's helpful.
For sure. I will squirrel off into something that is helpful for sure. I mean, pretty much you guys are getting training from me every single day when I have a squirrel moment for 10 minutes. I'm just a natural, Dan. What can I say?
I'm not trying to attack you. I hope you don't feel attacked. I just I know that you can do it. That's why I was making
I don't feel attacked at all.
good.
I got big shoulders. Okay, guys, hopefully you have gotten that post in. This one should be pretty easy for you today. It should be able to just be right off the cuff because it's whatever you guys love. So because I don't have anything like overly prepared, I mean, I have pages and pages of notes here always, but with that being said, though, I guess today, because I don't have anything prepared, I would like to open it up for you guys to see if there's anything specifically first that you guys are struggling with. So for example, is it like how to post, how to copyright, how to do calls to action, how to grow on Instagram? I'm just throwing out some different ideas. Mindset. We talk about mindset. We used to talk about mindset a lot. We haven't talked about mindset recently. Let's see what else. Interacting, growing your network. Is there anything, follow-ups, anything? Is there anything that you guys are struggling with that you want me to touch on? You can either unmute or drop it in the chat. Otherwise, I'll just figure out a tangent to go off on. Don't be
I don't
shy.
believe you, Heather. I don't think you can.
What's that?
I don't believe you.
You don't believe me? You don't believe I'll go on a tangent?
Nope.
Jess, I see your face popping in. You got something to say, girlfriend?
Good morning, Jess.
Good morning. Let me turn my picture off here. Oh, there's two of me. I'm working on it. Hold on.
Just twin it up.
Gotta turn the music on. Jess probably got something really good to say.
Oh no, not. I'm still wild hair. Don't care.
Perfect. Me too.
First
We're
night of,
twinning.
huh?
We're twinning.
Check out that thing, guys. It's thriving. Anyways, I think that if there's anything we should touch on that would be helpful, maybe just because I know I've experienced it a lot this week and last week, like how to interact with those accounts that haven't, or I mean, not accounts, samplers that haven't converted, and how often we should be touching base, and maybe just share ideas for like ways that we're circling back and sharing messages, just things like that.
Yeah.
Because I know I've had a really rough go at, I don't know what those, that Canada air is like, I don't know. Nobody's in their right mind this week. And
Yeah.
they love their sample, and I have just never seen so many people fart around. I'm
Right.
like, what are we still pussyfooting around here? You liked your sample, you had your sample. Like, are you willing to feel like shit for the next week? Or are we just gonna keep like messaging back and forth with like no purpose? Yeah. So I just think that like that, and maybe stemming off of that, like ideas to reach out to like old accounts, or like Angel, somebody that ordered before that hasn't for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I just
Yeah.
always think that's a good refresher, even
Yeah,
for me,
absolutely.
because I
So
could strangle some people this week. I won't even lie.
I've
Mhm.
I
never
wore
heard
2
you
white
so
labels yesterday.
frustrated.
I'm not messing around.
Never heard you so frustrated. We need to tackle this topic right now.
I see that Dan's Thrive is spicy today.
I was
and
like, Dan has a different, maybe a little fireball in his Thrive this morning or something.
I don't know where it's coming from, but it's there.
You are sassy today.
He's got it. He's just got it.
He's ready. It is Friday and he is feeling fly, as Jess would say. Okay, so for samplers, this is always a tricky one, but because sometimes it's like you got to know the whole backstory and where it's been and where they're at. And so every single situation is different. It's not necessarily, a one shoe fits all type situation. But I really just had gotten to the point. So what I'll normally do is if you've been reaching out and reaching out and reaching out and, they're just farting around and they're not really committing, what I'll do is I'll give it a little bit of a break, like maybe, 4 days to a week, and just kind of like let it simmer out. And then I will come back to them with like a super like valuable offer, like one that they kind of just can't resist, whether it would be like $30 to $50 off. And I know that's a lot, but especially just because right now I'm a little bit more aggressive because of bonuses, because of needing PPA, like things like that. So I'm not always that aggressive with my offer, but it depends on like what I'm needing. Like right now we have trips to qualify for, we have bonuses on the line. Like to me, there's so much on the line that I'm willing to give a little bit more just because like it's also benefiting me. So that's how I always look at it. I mean, that might sound bad, but at the end of the day, you guys, it is what it is, and they're getting a good deal, right?
Well,
So
plus we have our codes to offer them too, which helps
absolutely.
a little
Yep.
bit. So I
So,
mean,
but you
I
can
have
also
tons of credits. So I offered the Brianna last night, extra credits just
yes.
to help her out to get her going. So
So
Plus
that is exactly what I'll do. I'll give a $20 code and then I'll just add 20 or $30 more of my credits. So to me, the codes, I don't really like, yeah, they're there and I love that we have them, but I don't really feel like I'm missing anything by giving them. So that's kind of nice to be able to give the code. And then you're like, well, I have this discount code, but on top of that,
Right.
I'm going to give you an additional $30 from me or an additional $20 from me, but it's only today and tomorrow. You
Right.
will not get in to your experience any cheaper for this. So I just want to make sure that I know you loved your sample. So here is this offer. And so then I'll just kind of be a little bit aggressive with them and just be, because I look at it too, like, I'm not out anything. You're not ordering anyways, and you're just pussyfooting around. So, like, either you're going to order on this $50 off or you're obviously not that interested. So that's what I'll say. And so, like, with me, I kind of make it seem like I have this code and I don't really fully say it's from me per se, but then I say, and on top of that code, I'm also going to give you an additional X, Y, and Z from me. And so this is about as good as it's ever going to get. Like, you can get started for $110 today. This is going to be the best I can do for you. So I know you loved your sample. I really think like this is the time to do it. But then I will ask them a question at the end of it. And I will say, or like whatever they say. And then I'll just come flat out and say, can I ask you what's holding you back? You loved your sample. Can I just ask you what's holding you back? And
I
just
was,
ask
I'm
for
sorry,
their
I was,
objection.
that's what I was gonna say when you were talking about all the like offering the offers. Like sometimes it's just like you have to dig down and be like, what's the real thing here? Like what's going on?
Yeah. Is it finances? Is it like you're just not sure if it's gonna work? Like, or what is it? Like just asking them, because then once you know what the true objection is, then you can also then just dissect that with them and then, reassure them of whatever their objection is. And so then if they still kind of don't you know, say something at that point, then a couple days later, I'll just reach out again and just be like, or like at the end of the promo, and then I'll be like, are you, is it that you're not interested or is it just not a good time for you? Because part of it is like, it sounds bad, but when you've been reaching out and reaching out and reaching out, it's like, you're wasting my time. Like, I've already
Well,
given you the
that's
free
why I
sample.
was asking, because I like the things I want to say I know aren't appropriate, and I know
No,
that
but
that's not going to get me anywhere, but I'm about to go Britney Spears 2007 and be like, what the hell's wrong with you?
right.
Seriously, can we
Right.
get to the bottom of this? Because I've had
Right.
it.
But that is what I do, Jess. I get pretty forward with them. I'm like, what is going on? Are you
Which
just not
I have been, but I thought maybe different verbiage might help, because you and I talk very different in our messages.
right?
So sometimes, but I thought maybe like, I don't know, hearing somebody else's like final message to them, maybe like the one before they ordered would help.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
because WTF is not the correct question.
Does that help at all, or is that already what you've been doing?
I feel like that is well, I mean both. I know for a lot of them they were waiting today until payday, but for like the other half, it's just I don't even know if they know what the F they're doing. You know what I
Right.
mean? They're just like, well, like I've done all the things, like this will be the cheapest. I promise if we don't get the order on the way the first day without Thrive, you're going to remember why you started loving it that first day.
Mm-hmm.
Like I've hit all the pain points and done all the things. I just think
Yeah, I think the next
there are
question is,
definitely people that are going to have to go a while
yeah,
and remember how miserable they are again, which is okay. But
yeah.
I've had a few circle back around then and be like, well, it's been a while. Can I sample again? Hell no, we're not
No,
doing this again.
no,
You are
definitely
either
not.
going to order and let me be, or you're gonna have to figure it out some other time, because hell no, am I not doing 3 weeks of messages with you again. And my customer service, I feel like, is really toned down and nice when I am doing all of that, but hell no, we're not
Yeah.
doing that again. That's a
Yeah.
big no.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so just to touch on that for, our newer people and stuff like that too, is like, if you get that question, what you need to tell people is, just in general, even with sampling, I always just tell people like the sample is only to see the simplicity of the product. It is just to be able to see how simple it is. It's to taste the shake, it's to feel the patch on your body. And if you feel something in those 3 days, then you're one of the lucky people. Because we always want to set the expectation that they're not necessarily going to feel anything in those first 3 days. Because if you set the expectation too high and then they don't feel anything right away, or let's say they just don't listen to directions, because we know that happens as well, and then they don't take it right, well, now they're like, oh, Thrive isn't for me, I guess it didn't work. I'm glad it works for you. How many have heard that before? Glad it works for you, it doesn't work for me. I'm like, no, you didn't take it right. And so always set that expectation that it's just for the simplicity. So then if somebody comes back, because I've had tons of people come back to me too, and they want to sample a second time, like Jess just said. And I am like, I'm sorry, I only sample one time, because it's just to show you the simplicity of the system, to taste the shake and feel the patch on your body. You've already experienced that. If you want to be able to see what this experience is really going to do for you, you really need to experience 30 full days. And I am willing to give you a discount on your first order. I love to help my first time customers get in at a discount so that you can truly experience what 30 days is going to do for you. Because 3 days just shows you the simplicity, but 30 days is really going to show you how amazing you're going to feel. And then, if they blah, 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 objection, 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 then I am just like, or excuse, 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 then I'm like, can I just ask you what is holding you back? Like, let's talk about it. I know you loved your sample. I'm just trying to understand, what is holding you back? Is it not a good time? I don't want to continue to bother you if it's just not a good time. Because I'm like, but also really what I'm coding is you're wasting my time. And so if you're just, you guys, I'm just not always super proper, but shit or get off the pot. Like, I don't have time to continue, like Jess said, to talk to you for 3 freaking weeks and you still don't do anything. You're just like, like kind of just leading me on, leading me on, leading me on, leading me on. And you're never really committing. Like, sometimes people are just really good BSers, and they may or may not want the product, or maybe it's just that they don't have the finances to buy the product or whatever, and that's fine. But then you'll just go to my list that I'll reach out to you when we have an amazing deal, and I'll just check back with you then. I'm not going to sit here and have 5 conversations with you every single day for you to just never do anything. And we're just like talking about the freaking sunshine outside, whatever. Like, it's just like, I don't even know you. You reached out to me for this sample. Like, we're not going to be friends, like, in that regard. Like, you're just a stranger on social media. So like, let's get this show on the road. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to my next person, kind of thing. So, and then, as far as like old people that have either ordered, or even this is for samplers too, that you have sampled, they obviously have a free account, but they've never ordered. I will also, I'll use Lavelle's promos, but sometimes if I'm running my own promo, then I will just touch back with them and I will just be like, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you. I know that you loved your sample. I know that you loved Thrive in the past, especially if it's somebody I know, I'll just say like something personal, like, so they don't think it's just this copy paste message, because we want to be humans. I'll say like, I know like your summer has been crazy with the kids, or I know that you've had so much going on lately. And I just wanted to see like where you're at. Like, I really think that Thrive would help you during this crazy time. But I do have a special promotion this weekend from me or from our company, or however you want to word it. And I just wanted to let you know what's going on. If this is something that you think that would help you, I would love to be here to help you with your order again. And so that's another great way to just kind of reach back with people, but make it personal. Because I mean, for me, I love that Angel said like she's seen Tiffany's message about like reaching back to old samplers and stuff. And I think that that message, like that type of thing, like following up with people again, is a good thing. But whatever you guys do, just don't be Spamela Pamelas and just like copy and paste the same exact message over and over and over and over.
Another thing that I did too, instead of doing like the samples, the 3-step sample, I also offered like to a couple of them the skincare line and the HDS, with my own discount and stuff like that with the code and everything, because I know some people weren't interested in in the 3 steps. So,
Mhm.
like my cousin, I'm going to send out another thing for her. And I think I sent out a couple of them last night. I haven't heard anything, and on the bottom, comment me or something. Everybody looked at the darn thing, but nobody said anything. And I'm like, "Ugh."
Right. And
and
to
I'm like,
me,
okay.
I think that to me that's weird, like the way she posted that thing. So anybody that doesn't know, one of our upline leadership, she curated this post, whatever. She's trying to be helpful. But to me, it was very spammy, I'm not gonna lie. And then like at the bottom, she was like, "Hey, I have this summer promotion," and to me, it just didn't feel very authentic and personal. And
Right.
so it was just like very salesy. Like, and I don't like to reach out to people in a salesy way. I like to just feel like I like to be a human. And so I like to always say their name so that they're not
Yep.
feeling like they're getting a copy paste message. So I'll be like, "Hey, Angel, I know that you absolutely loved your sample before. So I just wanted to reach back. I have a promotion running this week that is a fantastic deal. And I just wanted to see if it was a good time for you right now. I know that, you know, you're home with the kids, X,
XYZ.
Y,
Yeah.
Z, adding something personal so they know it's
Yep. Yep.
meant
Yep.
just for them. And or you had said before that I'll say like if people tell me like finances were tight or I just don't have the money right now, then I will say to them like, I know you said like before that money was a little tight, so that's the reason why I'm reaching out to you, because I have this promotion, so I just wanted to touch base
Yep.
and see if it
Yep.
was a good time right now. But then at the end she put, "Comment me." I'm like, if you're sending a personal message to somebody, why would you, like, this isn't a social media static post. Like that took like the personal aspect out of the message completely and just screamed to me Spamela Pamela and copy paste message. And we've all gotten these in our DM and it's gross.
Yeah.
So the biggest advice that I can give you guys, and I do copy and paste my own curated messages, but each one, like, because it'll
It's
have like
different.
the
Yeah.
general meat and potatoes in it if I'm running a promotion, but I'm always editing each one
Yep.
in
Yep.
my messages to I see your question, Michelle. I am getting to you. So just know that I'm not ignoring you. I I will just like modify each like message though to people, because obviously if I have a promotion, I'm going to be sending it to a lot of people. Like that's obviously the point of our business, is following up and checking back and making your job easier. So curate a message that you like, that's from you, that sounds like you, that's personal. Use their name and then remodify every single part of it that you can make it personal. And some people, I don't really know them. They're just like free accounts, or they're random samplers that I found on social media or that found me. And so I don't really have a personal relationship with them. So yeah, sure. Those ones are pretty much copy and paste messages, but they're from me. They're personalized to me. I always put their name in them,
Right.
and I'll always reach back and just try to be really sincere and just, let me know if it's a good time, blah, blah, blah. So
And maybe today too, I will, or like this afternoon or something, I'll do like a reach out to them. Is this a good time, or do you want me to contact you later?
exactly.
Um,
And
you
that is
know,
a great way to say to somebody, is this a good time, or is there a better time that you would like me
right,
to follow up
right,
with you later?
right. And I've done that in the past too. Someone will say, you know, I'm not interested at this time or whatever. And I will ask them, is this something that you're interested in? If you don't, how did I say that to one person? I don't want to be a salesperson. If this is something you're not interested in, let
Yes.
me know. Or can I contact you at a better time? Or would you rather
Yep.
me not contact you at all? Something like
Absolutely.
that. No, please reach out again.
And most people,
You know,
that's exactly right. Where a lot of
yeah,
times we're afraid to ask that question, but most people, as soon as you say, would you prefer that I don't contact you anymore? Or, is there a better time you'd like me to reach out or whatever?
right, right,
Usually they'll always be like, no, no, no. Like, and then they'll give you a time. Like, I think next month will be a better time for me. It's just that finances are crazy this month, or my schedule is crazy this month.
mhm,
Can you, and then they'll give you a designated time, and they will say, like, do you think you could reach out to me in 3 weeks, or reach out to me at the end of next month? That should be better for
or in
me,
the
because like
fall or
maybe
something.
that's
Yeah.
when they know they have a bonus check coming, or that's when
Mhm,
they know like something's gonna happen that like will make it okay for them to do it, and they'll usually give you a time.
yeah.
Most people don't say, yeah, never contact me again.
Right, right,
So
right, right, right.
so that's really great, Angel. And that's the other thing with what Jess asked. Like with samplers, that is sometimes then what I will end up asking them. I'll be like, I don't want to be a pest, and I'm not
Right,
trying to
right.
be spamming you. I just really, really want to take
I
good.
love the products that I have, and and I enjoy something,
Yeah,
letting
I
you know
just will
about, and
like
that's
tell
what
them
yeah.
I love to take good care of my customers, and
Yep,
it's important to me to provide good customer service, but I also don't want to be a pest and continue to
right,
bother you.
yeah,
So, do you want me to continue to follow
yep,
up with you, or would you prefer, or are you just not interested?
right, right,
you know
right,
and then usually then it's like, no, 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 and then they'll kind of give you the actual reason of why they can't
yep,
right now. Then it'll be like, no, it's just that, like, right now I'm doing this, or I just don't have the money because my car broke down, or blah, 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 blah. And then they usually will give you some kind of long response of why
why, yep,
they can't order at this time, and then you kind of know, and now you know their pain point, and now you know the reason. So then you can reach back, and then sometimes that even opens up the opportunity to talk about, well, have you ever thought about the opportunity side of this, because we do
right,
have an opportunity to make $1,300 in the first 14 days. If you're willing to share and you're motivated, I can definitely help you lock in some of these bonuses if you think that that would help you. And then you can just pitch them with the opportunity as well. So,
right, right.
I mean, there's always ways, around this,
I
because
love
at
it.
this point, what are you out? They're not ordering anyways. So you might as well just hit them with the opportunity on top of it. So that's just my thoughts, but you guys know that I'm a little bit more aggressive, and I move at a very fast pace just because I have big goals and I know what we have here. And so I'm not afraid to ask the question. So Okay, so moving right along, Michelle said, I have a question about a lady who wasn't a day one thriver. Um, can you just unmute Michelle and just elaborate on that a little bit more?
So I reached out to this lady. She asked for a sample, gave her a sample, and in my card, the handwritten card that I wrote, I put, don't be discouraged if you're not a day one thriver. Not everybody is.
Yep.
And some people may take more time.
Yep.
Um, I think I reached out to her like Wednesday, I think, and she's like, well, I'm on day 2 and I feel nada. She goes, I may have to buckle down and order, to see if that helps, whatever. And so I was like, yep, some people just take longer to, feel
Yeah,
the
the
effects or
experience,
whatever.
yeah.
And so, and I was like, hey, I can give you a $20 off code,
Yeah.
just let me know if you want to order whatever. Haven't heard anything. And I'm just like, and this morning I sent her a message being like, hey, how are you? Or how are you doing? Because I think her sample probably ended like yesterday or today or something. So I know pretty soon she might feel the difference of when she was on it compared
Compared.
to
Yes.
to now. So I'm like, maybe if I send a hey, how are you doing? She might be like, oh, okay. I know she saw the message with the $20 code, just haven't heard anything from her about that.
Mhm.
So how would I kind of encourage her to kind of get motivated to order that 30-day at least?
Yeah. So a couple of things that, and I don't know exactly what you're doing, but just this is for anybody. So just circling back about samples in general, always make sure that when you give somebody their sample, and you may have already been doing this, but this is just, it's good reminders for all of us. Always make sure that you're plugging in with them every single day. And I
Mm.
don't know if you're doing that, but I always usually like to check in with them morning and sometimes even at night, because in this situation, what could be happening is that the changes are so gradual, but she doesn't recognize it or she doesn't know that it's from Thrive. So what this looks like for me is, before I give somebody their sample, they'll get their sample and I might, I'll say, when are you going to start your sample? And so they'll say, so let's just say it's going to be tomorrow. So tonight I will reach out to them and be like, hey, I'm so excited for you to start your sample tonight or tomorrow. Just making sure that you have your capsules right by your bedside with a bottle of water. Just want to make sure that you're night prepped and ready to go. Or I'll take a picture of my capsules right on my nightstand, send it to them and be like, I'm so excited for you to start your sample tomorrow, making sure that you have your capsules right by your nightstand, because you're going to feel amazing as soon as you wake up and take those immediately. That's super important. And so I'll just make sure that they know the importance of it, know that I have mine on my bedstand, blah, blah, blah. So then the next day, I might wait till 8, 9 o'clock in the morning, depending and if there's somebody that posts on social media or in their stories or, whatever, and you see that they're active, then I will touch back or then I'll reach out in the morning and be like, hey, did you start today? Are you noticing anything yet? Blah, blah, blah. And then, depending on how the conversation goes, maybe we touch base later that night. It just depends. Sometimes, you kind of know your people's personality. Like some people, I know I got to give them a little space and I can't be too in their face. And some people are just more interactive and bubbly. And I know that I can reach out again and they're not going to think I'm spamming them, So I just kind of feel the energy in the air, and so each person is just kind of different. But then, so let's say that next reach out, they're still not really feeling anything. So day 2, I'll be like, that's okay. Everybody, it takes people different times to fill their nutritional gaps. Some people don't feel it till 5 to 7 days. But remember, the sample was just really so that you can see the simplicity. And then I'll say something like, did you notice anything with your sleep? Yes, last night, did you sleep better? And they might be like, oh, you know what? I actually slept really good last night. And then you're like, that's awesome. That is a benefit of Thrive. You are just going to have improvement in your sleep the more and more you go. Or like, let's say they told you one of their issues was digestion or something. You could say like, not to be weird, but how's your digestion doing? And then they're like, oh my gosh, actually, like, I don't want to. And then they'll get kind of weird because they feel weird talking about poop, but we talk about poop all the time, so we don't care. But they feel weird because it's not what they do. And then they're like, actually, normally I really struggle in that department. And like, it, now that you say that, I actually went, and usually I can't go if I don't have my coffee, or usually I don't go for 3 days in a row, or, they'll say something like that. And then you'll be like, that's another benefit of Thrive. Or how was your appetite control? Did you notice that your appetite was better? And then they're like, actually, I really wasn't snacking. That's another benefit of Thrive. And so then you can really guide them through. So that's why I really like to make sure that you're always following up throughout the entire sample. And then plus, you can also ask them, like on day 2, if they didn't feel anything, you can say, can you just do a run through with me of how you took your products yesterday or today or whatever? And so sometimes then you'll also find out that they're actually not taking it right, or they like, well, I woke up and then, I took my capsules at 8, but they normally like work at 8. So you like, no, they didn't take them immediately.
Mhm.
And then I took my shake at my lunch break. I'm not kidding you, people, this is what they'll do. And you're like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so let's go back to square one. And even though you told them the directions, they will say, well, I just didn't have time, and I just didn't think that it would really matter. So like I just like, why do I have to take the shake 20 minutes later?
Mhm.
And they'll literally do whatever they want. And so that's why it's so important also to make sure that you're always following up every single day through that sample, because you would be amazed at how many people just literally do their own thing and don't take it the way they're supposed to. So those are the things that I always make sure that I'm doing throughout the sample, because then you can really kind of validate people that their sample really is working.
Okay.
But then when we get to this point of where you're at right now, maybe later today, it would be a great opportunity for you to circle back and just be like, hey, I just wanted to touch base with you. Like I mentioned before, a lot of people don't feel their Thrive right away in the first day. So, I just wanted to remind you that I have this $20 discount code that's good till Sunday, because you really want to put it's good to put urgency on it, because
Mhm.
if people just have tons of time to think about it, like, then they just almost never do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so then you give a deadline, and then you say, so I really want you to experience a full month, because a full
Mhm.
month is really what is going to change your life.
Yeah.
And then maybe if you have a part of your story, like, so for instance, for me, like, my sleep kicked in at day 10. So you could say something like, I mean, I started to notice some of the benefits right away with Thrive, but it wasn't till day 10 when my whole world changed. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm sleeping better. My digestion is turned on. Like my bloating was gone, my water weight was gone, like whatever it is, that's your story. And so I want you to be able to experience that. So I'm just
Okay.
checking back to see if you're ready.
Okay.
Does that help?
Yes. Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, just be super confident. Like, your story, Michelle, your transformation, and what these products are doing for you. So
Mhm.
again, I always go back to, if they haven't purchased yet anyways, you're not out anything. So just be yourself and be passionate, because we know what we have our hands on. So you can be confident in that. And then,
Mhm.
like Jess said, you can share a Thriver that wasn't a day 1 Thriver, and that's okay. Like, there's stories in our Lavelle fan page that you can send people that aren't day 1 Thrivers. That's
Mhm.
another resource. Another resource is literally like connecting them in a message with, you can ask anybody in our thread who wasn't day 1 Thrivers. And then you could connect them in a message with somebody else that isn't a day 1 Thriver. My husband was not a day 1 Thriver. If he would have done a sample, he would have never started. I bought him the month. He was pissed off. and annoyed because he thought it was snake oil. And he also did not take it right for the first like good week, but he still was reaping some benefits from it, even though he didn't think he was. But he was drinking less and less coffee during that first week. But it wasn't until he started to move into that second week, by like between day 10 and 14, is when like all of a sudden he realized he was not even finishing. He was only going to the coffee cabin 1 day a week rather than four, or I mean a day rather than 4 times a day. And then the one coffee he had wasn't even gone. And then he realized like he didn't have all of the body discomforts that he had. And then it was like, wait, maybe my energy and like motivation is better. And but it took him that whole like first 2 weeks before he really noticed it, because some people are really gradual. Holly
Mhm.
Fisher is another person on our team. She has been a little less active lately just because like she fosters and she's got 5 kids now,
Mhm.
and like life is really busy for her. But she is another perfect example. It wasn't until 2 weeks. She's one of my promoters, and she's a client of mine at the salon. And she dove in with her order right away. And thank goodness she did, because it didn't take her till 14 days. And so she always shares her story that if I would have started on a sample, I probably never would have ordered, because she felt nothing for
Mhm.
14 solid days. And then it was like 2 weeks in and it like kicked in. But she
Yeah.
also knows her body, and she knows her body usually takes longer to adjust. And so she was very aware that she's not somebody that typically reacts right away. Like her body usually needs more time. And so
Mhm.
thankfully she also knew her body well enough to know that. But she's another great resource. And like I think she's shared her story on the fan page. So if you need me to get that, you can put it up in the search bar to her name, Holly Fisher, and like
Okay.
her story will pop up, and she shares about how she wasn't a day one thriver.
Yeah, I probably will do that because she's a ex coworker of one of my friends,
Yeah.
and she's kind of like a straight to the business, like business type lady who like is, I don't know, she's seems nice enough, but seems like she's
Maybe a little high strung.
yeah, just a little bit.
Hmm.
Can be, I guess you can say.
I know
Where
the
like,
type.
yeah, so it's like maybe those kind of stories will like, because I mean she had already mentioned, well, I might have to just jump the gun and just buy the month. So maybe just giving her those kind of stories will help her motivate her, be like, okay, well, there's other people like me.
Yes, 100%. That validation is huge. Hearing it from somebody else that like, oh, well, wait, like maybe I'm not the only one or whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely, make a big difference. And also just I think too, circling back to people and saying exactly what they said to you. Like, I know you mentioned that maybe I just need to start the 30 days. I agree with you. Because my friend Heather's husband didn't. A girl
Mhm.
on our team, Holly, she didn't. If you want me to share their testimonies with you, I would be happy to do that, because not everybody feels it right away in the first few days. Because
Yeah.
even like what I also, when somebody doesn't feel it right away, what I also like to remind people, this is my favorite line that I use on people. I will say, well, do you know how I'm not trying to make any medical claims here or anything, but this is just the fact of the matter. And I'm just a very straight shooter with people, and they just know that about me. So I'll just say, the fact of the matter is, it's just like when you start a new medication, like it takes time to build up into your body
Mhm.
and it takes time for it to work. So nutrition is no different. And then I'll say, and that's why we call this, you can either say an 8-week experience, or, a 60-day challenge, or whatever you want to call it. Because it takes the average body that long to really get your nutritional needs filled. Just like if you started a new anxiety medication or a depression medication or something like that, you're not going to feel the changes right away because your body doesn't instantly change. It takes time to get that into your body before you're going to feel the full effect. Nutrition
Yeah.
is no different. That's why when you go to the doctor and they give you a prescription or they start you on a med, they will tell you you're not going to see a difference for at least 30 days. And
Mhm.
nutrition is no different. And some people do start to feel it before then, and guaranteed mostly everybody feels it by week 2. But this is just like medication in the aspect that you're not always going to feel it instantly. It's not like this. And Dan said it yesterday. We were on, I don't know if it was yesterday. My days are all blended together. But regardless, 2 days ago, I don't remember. But when we did the call, Dan flat out in the call, he was not afraid to tell this guy. He was like, this isn't magic. This isn't a magic pill. This isn't a magic system. Like, you're not going to all of a sudden take this and 3 days later, like, because the guy really wants sleep and energy. So Dan was very, very clear to him, like, you're not going to necessarily see these changes immediately, but maybe like after a weekend to 2 weeks, you're going to really start to see these
Mhm.
changes. But just know it's not magic. So you're not going to feel this instantly. And
Yeah.
the guy's like, okay, yeah, well, no, that makes sense. But Dan set that expectation. So now we know this guy's more than likely going to feel it before then, but now he's going to be excited. He's going to be like, holy shit, this stuff is already working. Like Dan
Yeah.
said it wasn't going to work for 7 to 14 days.
Yeah.
And so Dan really set that expectation up. And I think sometimes we just want to promise like instant because and I'm not saying you're doing that, but I'm just saying
Oh,
in
no, I
general,
know.
like we get so excited about Thrive. And so we're just like, yeah, but it's always just better to like, remind people of those things because so many people, we live in a microwave society and people want these instant results, instant. And like,
Yeah.
not realistic.
And I do. Because of my background, because I was a CNA and a medication aide,
Oh,
I do.
yeah.
That's one of the first things I tell people. I was like, look, especially when I give them samples, I was like, it is like starting a new medication. You
Yes.
have to, I was like, if 2 don't work, drop down to 1, and then we'll just lightly build you back up. It's
Yeah.
like, that's one of the first things I tell people, but just because I know how all that works.
To
So
me, I've always just had great success with using that analogy because I
mhm.
just feel like that connects with people and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, that makes sense. Because I'm like, why would nutrition be any different? Like,
Yeah.
it's still the same body. Like, it takes
Mhm.
time for your body to adjust to something new. You can't expect it to just instantly just be like, voila. And then I also tell somebody, sometimes some people, depending on like, especially if I know their backstory, like they're drinking 5 monsters a day, like Jenny, like I was like, oh my gosh, when she was on Facebook Live with Jess and she's drinking all the coffee and all the monsters and the 5-hour energies. I'm like, holy crap, girl, how are you still walking without
Right?
having a heart attack? But like somebody like her, I was shocked that she didn't really go through a crazy detox because
Mhm.
somebody like her, she's more than likely going to feel like absolute garbage for 7 to 14 days because she's going to go through a terrible detox. That was
Mhm.
me. I was a day 1 thriver. In my sample, I felt amazing for those first 3 days. Then I stopped, went to Mexico, like life was happening. I actually ended my sample on the day that we were taking a red eye to Mexico. I felt like an addict because I was like, oh my gosh, how can I get more Thrive before I go to Mexico? Because I didn't want to stop, but I thought people would think I was crazy. So I was too afraid to ask somebody to get me more to like hold me over while I was in
Mhm.
Mexico. And I also thought that was too much to ask. But now I see like why it is and how it is. And our customers do the same thing to us. But I just felt weird about it. I'm like, oh my gosh, like I feel psycho, like, cause I just like was like, how could I get some more? I'll stop at somebody's house on the way to the airport, like whatever. But anyway, I had to go without. It sucked. I mean, I was in Mexico, so that helped, but my digestion was on for those 3 days. And I normally go 7 to 10 days without going to the bathroom. So that for me was incredible. I felt amazing. I needed to figure out how I could get some more, but then I had to go without. And then also, I was in Mexico, drank a ton, right? Ate a ton of crap food, drank at an all inclusive resort all week, living on coffee while I was there, all this stuff, right? So I get back, order, and then I didn't quite have the same experience when I started back up again. I went through a horrible detox. Like I had an extreme headache. I'm not even gonna lie, like for me, I don't know if it was the capsules or the shake. It was almost like all of it was too strong. Like my body was almost rejecting it because
Mhm.
I lived on Mountain Dew and coffee. I mean, and I drank a crap ton of it and I smoked. And so between all of it, like my body was just garbage, right? So the first few, like the first week or two, I mean, there was a couple of days I even barfed. Now, with that being said, I would take my Thrive and then I would immediately drink coffee. Well,
Mhm.
all of that in my system was like, nope, that is not going to happen. And I think Thrive was just pushing it out. And so I went through a really bad detox. I don't tell everybody that part of my story because not most people don't go through that, but I was drinking a ton of caffeine and I smoked and like, yeah, my body was in rough shape. So, but the point is like, everybody's body is so different. And so I bought the month though, and I knew what I felt like in those first 3 days. So it was one of those things that I knew I had to work through it. And obviously the extreme headache was because of, the Mountain Dew I was drinking. And I was going through a caffeine and a sugar detox. And so, I mean, but once I made it through it, it was like on the other side, I was like, I mean, well, here I am 7 years later. I'm
Right.
glad I pushed through them 7 days of hell to get to the other side. So it's just like, but that was such a huge adjustment period for my body. And so that's another thing that I tell people. Most people don't go through that extreme, but some people will have a headache and some people will just still feel very sluggish and tired. And they're like, I'm not feeling anything. Almost, I might be more tired. And it's like, right, because your body is pushing all the toxins out. So it's
Mhm.
also a good reminder to just tell people like, listen, Thrive is flushing all the junk out of your body. And so
Mhm.
sometimes for first couple days, you're not going to feel anything, or you might feel a little tired or sluggish because it's really pushing out all that junk out of your body. So I think that's another great way to be able to remind people that you might not feel great those first 3 days just because your body is flushing and detoxing, but once you get to the other side, you're going to be so glad that you did the 30 days and not just a sample. So that's another way that you can kind of handle that as well. So
Okay.
does anybody else have any other questions? Otherwise, we'll wrap up here pretty soon because, well, we're at an hour and 15 minutes, which I'm fine with, but I don't want to keep you guys on here forever either. But if anybody has any other questions, we can go for another 10 or 15 minutes if anybody has anything they want to cover. Anybody? No? Okay. Well, I always like to leave you guys with a little bit of inspo and as Dan would say, Heather's squirrel moments. So I just want to just really briefly talk to you guys about mindset. Jess and I have had this conversation about mindset um in the last couple of days. And I kind of briefly touched on it with you guys yesterday. And the biggest thing about this is just that mindset really is so important. We already know this. But I just want to talk to you guys about like micro quitting. We talked about this a little bit yesterday on the Zoom. But in the summertime, you guys, this is just my encouragement to you to just stay by the fire, stay connected, because it's so easy for people to just micro quit. And what I mean by that is like you make these small little decisions every single day not to show up, not to plug in, not to work your business, not to do interactions, like, and it's these small little decisions every single day that you do, and you do it one day, and then you end up doing it another day, and then before you know it, it turns into this really big pile of micro quitting decisions that have affected your business in a really, really, really huge way. And Jess, said it best yesterday when she shared in our team page. If you guys have not seen that, I highly suggest you go back to our team page and just re-look at that post. And actually, I'm just going to quick pull it up and I'm going to read it to you because it was so amazing. Jess said, don't later your business. I absolutely love this. I've seen too many people who want to be their own boss lately procrastinate either building or even getting started. They are scared to go all in. They're scared to invest in themselves. They're terrified to commit and of failure. And here's the thing, we can't make the same excuses as our own most frustrating clients about time, money, etc. But at the end of the day, it's only 5%. Those who step up to the plate in a massive way and never later their business that will actually create something incredible beyond their wildest dreams. The rest will dabble, struggle, and even give up. I've seen it over and over and over again through the past 7 years from people who want to be entrepreneurs. It all comes down to the choices we make and the actions we take now. And of course, if you want to create something amazing, it's going to require big action and doing all the things that people will call you crazy for. And I love that because it separates the 5% from the 95% who won't go all in, making room for those who will. I'm here when you're ready to lock arms with someone who will always keep it real and always show up in your corner. And I absolutely love this because goes hand in hand with like micro quitting. When you continue to micro quit and you make these small little decisions every single day not to show up, it turns into big things. And basically you're latering your business. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it tomorrow. And the real question that I want to ask you, if this is you, if you are the person who is latering your business, who is procrastinating, who is replying, oh, Jenny, I'm so confused. Like, wait, I didn't see the chat before that. Yes, I just absolutely love this post because it is so easy to put things on the back burner. But what I would have to ask you is, again, this isn't just like a lot of people will be like, well, I don't have time, or I'm just not good at time management. How many people have heard that or have said that? I'm just too busy. At the end of the day, you guys, the bottom line is that it really boils down to mindset. It has nothing to do with time. It has nothing to do with time management. That is just the excuse and the reason, but really what it boils down to, it's mindset. It is a mindset problem and it is a belief issue. You are not taking action because you have a belief about what you're doing, either that you're not good enough, that you don't know how to post, that you don't know what to do, or that you just simply don't believe in yourself, that you have what it takes to run this business. And that's false because you guys have this community and you have everybody here in your corner that is cheering you on. We have the resources, we have the team page. Thanks, Dan. We have these power mornings every morning, and we have a chat that is literal fire. people in there that will help you through whatever you're going through, people that will cheer you on, people that will encourage you. There is no reason that you shouldn't have a belief for yourself and what you are doing in this business, because we have everything at our fingertips to succeed. And we have a team that absolutely believes in everybody and wants to see everybody win. And the community that we have created here is literally unmatched, unmatched. And so I want to encourage you guys today, if you are having these thoughts or beliefs about, I'll do it later, or I'll do it tomorrow, or I don't have time, I'm going to challenge you to really dig deeper and ask yourself, why am I not doing this business? What is the real reason? What are the thoughts that I'm having about this? Because you need to do some self-coaching and ask yourself, what is the deeper reason? Because there is a deeper reason. It is either a belief issue, it's a mindset issue, it's a confidence issue. There is something deeper that is going on that is driving you to stop what you're doing and not believing in yourself. Is it because you feel like you haven't had any customers? Is it because somebody said something to you that is false? That is actually a reflection of themselves. They say, I can't believe you do this. Why do you post all the time? Why do you do this? Why do you do that? They say those things because they are not willing to do what you do and to put the work in like you do. And that is exactly what Jess said. There is only 5% of us that are going to show up 100% and separate ourselves from all the rest. There is a reason why there is only so many 200Ks in our business as opposed to brand promoters and 4Ks. And this isn't to shame a brand promoter or a 4K. That is not what I'm saying. So please do not take me that way. But what I am saying, we all have the ability to go 200K. But I'm going to tell you the only difference between myself, the only difference between Jess, the only difference between Michelle, Jenny, Dan, all of us is a belief. We can all go 200K. And maybe that's not your goal. But my point is that there is only 5% in the company that are 200Ks. And you want to know why? It's because only 5% are willing to put themselves out there, that are willing to do the things that other people don't want to do, willing to show up at 5:45 a.m. for power mornings because your business is important to you. Here is the thing, you guys. I don't know what we're up to, 59 promoters in Team Believe Infinity. How many are there on here right now? 4. Again, some people might have other obligations, work, things like that. The point is, though, when you do the math, what is the percentage of that? About 5%. And that is the bottom line. And I'm sorry, this is going to come off red, but kudos to you guys, because you are the 5% that are showing up for your business. And it's not to say that other people aren't going to have success and other people aren't going to grow watching the replay or anything like that. But there is a difference between the people who show up live in person, if they're able. This is not anything to do with people that are working or vacation or family things. That is not what I'm saying. I am saying the people that are home and available to plug in that are not plugging in. Like, there is the 5% that is going to show up and they're going to do the hard things, because the hard thing is showing up at 5:30 in the morning and are waking up at 5:30 in the morning, setting an alarm during summer vacation and getting at your business. You're missing the whole point if you think like, I'll just watch the replay. You're missing the point. The point is being the 5%. The 5% that is going to show up to their business live and in person because it's important and because you want to be here. Jess has got something to say. I can feel it. So go ahead, girl.
And you guys, I made that post especially because I have to stop my Roomba. That bad mama jam is too loud. I made that post, you guys, because we think back to why you started. Aside from what the products do, you started because you can work this into your schedule at any time, right? It's in the nooks and the crannies. You can take 20 minutes in the morning to be intentional and set your day up for success and know that you're done. If anything, this should be the best time to put your 20 minutes, even if you can't make the whole Zoom, you can spend 20 minutes and be intentional because you've set yourself up for success for the rest of the day, and you can put a few minutes in here and there. And I'm really passionate about this because I have 4 kids. I have 3 freaking crazy dogs. I work part-time, which is actually really close to full-time these days. You guys, the thing is, we all have families and we all have things to do. I just want to ask every single one of you, if your excuse to why you're, and I told this to Heather yesterday because I feel really, really passionate about this, is your excuse why you're not showing up for your own damn business in the morning worth $12,000 or $6,000? Because those are the bonuses we're looking at, you guys, and they're not coming around again. I don't feel like for a while. It might be a different play on bonuses that they give us, but you guys, no other company does this. So if you can tell me and actually mean it that your excuse is worth $2,000, $4,000, or $6,000, then we'll talk and I might accept your excuse. But until then, you have 20 minutes in the morning. And I want you to remember why you started, because I know I was like, yeah, I can work that in for 20, 30 minutes here or there. And that's why, aside from what the products do, I feel like we can all relate. Because we did this, we signed up for this because we're like, yeah, I'm on my phone anyways. I can work that in here or there. Do it in the morning, get it done for the day, and run with it.
Amen, sister. I love that. And I appreciate you sharing from a different perspective and not being me, being the only one that has read, because you guys, I know what this business has done for me. I know what this business has done for my family. And that's why I show up every single morning at 5:45. But I'm going to show up whether you guys are here or not. And I say that with all the love in the world. Please hear me out. But I'm going to show up regardless, because I've been showing up for 7 years before I ever did these Zooms. And I show up now because I show up for you guys, because I don't want to be the only one winning. I want all of you on this team winning, and that is why I show up. And you guys are the 5% that are here, that are making time for your businesses and plugging in. And that's huge, you guys. So we have 57 or 59, I can't remember, people in our team page. But I wish I would look it up right now. I think we're to like 378 promoters on our team total. But I would say, I think 100 are active. So again, here's 5 of us with 100 people that we actively have promoting. And every single week, there is usually between 5 to 9 people on the Zoom, max. So kudos to the ones that are here, because you truly are the 5%, because you're truly making the time. You're not saying, I'm going to later my business. You're not saying, I'm just going to catch the replay. You're not saying like, oh, well, I'll just jump on tomorrow. And then tomorrow comes and then you hit your snooze and you don't make time to do it again. And then the next day comes, and then before you know it, it's been a whole week, and then it's been a whole month and you haven't plugged in. That is literally how you micro quit on yourself every single day. And it has nothing to do with the business, because if it's not Lavelle, it's something else that you're also quitting on in your life. That's the bottom line. I hate to be like that, but that's just me being a straight shooter. Because if you are micro quitting on this, something that can change your whole entire life and your financial future, I guarantee you there's other things in your life that you're also micro quitting on. And so if that is you, you need to have a hard look in the mirror and really do some self-evaluation and ask yourself, why am I not showing up? Is this a belief issue? Is this a mindset issue? It is not a time management issue, because Everybody usually has time at 5:45 in the morning. We're all available. It's just, are you going to wake up and show up, or are you going to stay in your bed? That's why we do 5:45 a.m. because pretty much everybody is available at that time. But it's a decision. It's a decision of, am I going to show up at 5:45 and make time for my future and my legacy and my children? Or am I going to stay in bed and sleep for another hour? It's really that simple. And so you just have to ask yourself, where do I want to be? Do I want to be on the next lifestyle getaway? Do I want to be the next bonus earner? Do I want my car paid for? You guys, these are all of the things that we have on the line here. And I haven't paid a car payment since 2017. 2 car payments in my household paid for. Do you know that the average car payment is $700 these days? The average car payment. And Lavelle pays for my luxury vehicles. Never in my wildest dreams did I think I would drive a BMW and a Cadillac. You guys, I came from poor growing up. Poor. And we didn't have shit growing up. And these are the vehicles that I get to drive and the life that I get to create for my family, because I made a decision that I was going to break those generational curses and I was not going to live like that anymore. And we have the vehicle here to do it. Never mind how amazing we feel every single day, but now we have an opportunity to change our financial future and our legacy. And this does not discriminate. I mean, we heard it at Palooza, and I can't say it better. From jail or Yale, it doesn't matter. Anybody in this business can go to the top. It doesn't matter if you're a felon. It doesn't matter if you have a freaking PhD. You can still make more money in Lavelle than any doctorate degree. Period. End of statement. But it's up to you. It's up to you if you are going to stay committed through the summer, or if you are going to just micro quit on your business and just say you're going to do it later, say you're going to do it tomorrow, whatever. It's up to you. And so I really, really want you guys just to do a self-check this weekend, today, whatever it is. You guys are here, but if you're watching this on the replay, do a self-evaluation and ask yourself, why am I not showing up? Is it because of something somebody said? Is it because of their opinions? Is it because I don't have belief in myself? Is it because of the trauma that people said to me when I was younger that I'll never become anything or be anything? What is it? Like, seriously, there is something deeper inside of you that is making you not show up and making you not do this. Because we all know it's important. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't be taking the products. But the real question is that you have to get down and dirty about is, do you love your sleep more than your financial future? Or do you want to show up for 90 solid days and be 12K in October and have your car paid for and have a $6,000 bonus? What's more important to you, 1 hour of sleep or your car paid for the rest of your freaking life?
I just want to say that this 5%, I mean, minus Heather and I, like, you three are the next 12Ks. The
100%.
way you consistent, it's
Yep, it just takes time and consistency. And when you show up every single day and you pour into your life, you pour into your business, you pour into your self-development, and you're around people that believe in you, you guys, there is an energy. You need to understand that there is energy and vibration. And when you are around people that are vibing at a high level and have super high energy and belief in you, and we're having these high oh my gosh, I can't even say the word now. Anyways, we're having these high conversations. You are just going to
collaboration,
higher level. Caliber, thank you.
Oh,
my brain gets moving faster than my mouth. It's the problem that I have on Thrive. But so you guys, I just want to leave you with this is like the decision is up to you. Like you have the belief from all of us. You have the support from all of us, but I can't do it for you. And I can't make you plug in and I can't drag you. But what I can do is lift you up and lock arms with you and give you all of the support and tools and everything that I can do to help you succeed. But I just physically can't do it for you. And you have to have the belief because even if you are just posting and ghosting, meaning you are throwing up a post just to say your business is open, just to be like, well, I worked my business today. That energy is received. Even though it's through social media, people can feel that. People can feel when you are vibing high and when you are just posting and ghosting, just to be like, well, got my post up, done for the day. No, people can feel that. People know when you're sincere, they know when you're genuine, and they know when you're vibing at a high vibration. It's why yesterday I had to be transparent with my audience and be like, you know what? I am just having a shit day and it's been hard. And this is what I'm going through as a mom. Because I can't go and post on social media and pretend to be happy when I'm not. Because I am a huge empath and I know my energy will be received. And people know they can sniff right through the shit, you guys. Don't think they can't, because they can. And so I just got on there. I was real, I was transparent, and guess what? I still got a ton of interaction on that status, just being myself, just being real. People just want you. So just keep on showing up authentically. And if they're not for you, who cares? Because the bottom line is they're not willing to do what you're doing, and they're not going to create the future that you're going to create. And so when you leave them in the dust and you outgrow them, because more than likely, you guys, you're going to outgrow people in your circle when you're in this business. Because we have goals, we have standards, and we are just going to keep on evolving into better people. And the people that are just okay with exactly where they are, they've accepted the fact that they'll always just be tired because they're just a mom. My body aches and it's because I'm 40, so it's fine. This is just the way life is. Those people will always just stay stuck. And then they will get to retirement and they will get to 60 years old and they will start to think, wait, what the hell did I do with my life? I'm already 60 years old and I've pretty much done nothing. And then they think, but now it's too late. So, oh, well, this is just where I'm at. We are not those people. We are going to be thriving through life and living our best lives and encouraging other people to do the exact same thing. So you guys, you know what we have here. This summer is going to be lit with everything we have in Lavelle. Just please do yourself a favor. Stop micro quitting. Start showing up. Start working this business like a business and start making business money instead of making hobby money. Because if you're only going to show up sometimes, you're only going to get paid sometimes. It's as simple as that. And why are we struggling in an economy that is draining our finances when we could be building our finances? It's as simple as that. So anyway, that is what I have for you guys. Happy Friday. I appreciate and love you guys all. I really do. But I hope you know this is just literally from my heart. Like I can't sugarcoat anything. And the bottom line is that I see so much potential in so many of you that are literally not you. I'm talking to the people that might be watching this on the replay. I see so much potential in all of you, and it fires me up because I know you have more to offer and I know you have it in you, but I know that you need to work on your mindset and you need to figure out what your goals are and you need to ask yourself again, what is your why? And also do a deeper dive of why you're micro quitting, why you're not showing up, why you're not making this a priority when you know you need it and everything is on the line. And I can't figure out those questions for you, but what I can do is talk through them with you if you want me to. I can be here to support you. I can be here to listen. I can help you work through it. And then we also have this amazing supportive community that is going to be here and lift you. And Jess is the biggest cheerleader. Dan is spicy and funny, and he will make you laugh and cheer you on as well. And so we have everything you guys need. It's just up to you to be the one to make the decision to just start taking it more serious and get to it. So with that, you guys, I'm going to let you go. Thank you for being here, Jess. Thank you for sharing. I appreciate you all, and I love you guys so much. And again, without all of you guys, like, we would not be a team. And you know what? For some of you, maybe your goal isn't to get your car paid for. And that's okay too. I love people where they're at, but for the ones that you have shared your goals and I know where you want to be, just keep on showing up and don't quit on yourself, because it's so much harder to get the ball rolling again once you stop it. You're not the only one showing up. We're all here together looking like a mess, and we're all tired when we first hop on. But once we get going, that energy lights us up, and then we're ready to tackle the day. It's a great way to start your morning. So just plug in. Jess and I have talked, maybe she might start taking over Fridays because, you know, everybody needs a little Jess fire. I know I love it and it inspires me. And quite frankly, maybe you guys don't want to hear me just rambling all the time. So if anybody ever wants to take over a morning, we want to delegate leaders here. I don't want to be the only leader. I want you guys to grow into the leaders that you are as well. So please know that anybody is welcome to talk on this Zoom. Everybody is heard here. I don't want to be the only one talking all the time. So please know that your voices are important here and that I want to hear from all of you. I don't just want to be the only one that's barking, but I believe in you. And I know that most of you are literally have so much more in you than what you're giving. And so it's going to always be my goal to pull that out of you, because I had somebody that pulled that out of me, and I will always be thankful even if they're still not on my journey. They pulled that out of me, and so I'm going to pull it out of you guys if I can. It's my duty to pay it forward. So that's what I have. I love you guys, and I hope you have an amazing weekend, and we'll see you guys on Monday. Bye guys.